Hey NFL fans, before we dive into today's hottest stories, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss an update. From NFL News Now, the tension inside the Eagles' locker room has reached levels that fans have only imagined in whispers, but now the story is out there, spreading like wildfire through every sports bar, social media thread, and locker room rumor mill across the country. Sources say that head coach Nick Sirianni, known for his usually calm and calculated demeanor, finally lost his composure in a heated explosion that stunned players and staff alike. The moment reportedly came after a string of frustrating losses and what insiders describe as mounting internal conflicts, leaving the team atmosphere brittle and almost electric with tension. Eyewitnesses claim that Sirianni, normally measured and composed in interviews, suddenly raised his voice, pacing the room with an intensity rarely seen in professional sports. "I'm tired of pretending everything's fine," he allegedly shouted, punctuating his words with gestures that sent a clear shockwave through the room. Players, some still in full gear, reportedly froze in disbelief as Sirianni's rant unfolded, a combination of frustration, passion, and raw emotion spilling into every corner of the locker room. The details of the tirade suggest that the coach was not only venting about recent performance issues, but also questioning team commitment, strategy execution, and perhaps even the honesty of internal feedback, creating a scene that insiders describe as almost cinematic, a perfect storm of tension, authority, and desperation colliding in a moment few will forget. The incident, according to those with direct knowledge, was witnessed by multiple staff members, who remained tight-lipped, though the energy and intensity were such that the story could not remain confined to the walls of the facility. Inevitably leaking into the media sphere, fans and observers online are already dissecting the potential repercussions of such a high-profile meltdown, analyzing every possible implication for the Eagles' season, the coaching staff's credibility, and player morale. Social media feeds are flooded with speculation about what this could mean for locker room cohesion, with debates ranging from whether Sirianni's outburst represents a necessary wake-up call to a potentially dangerous fracture in team dynamics. Sources suggest that the timing of the incident, coming after a critical game loss and during a period of internal friction, only amplified the significance, creating a narrative that the coach reached his limit after months of struggling to maintain equilibrium in the face of mounting pressure. Analysts online are predicting that this moment could become a defining turning point in the season, either galvanizing the team into renewed focus or triggering a deeper unraveling. If not carefully managed, the whispers around practice sessions, team meetings, and even casual interactions in hallways suggest a mix of fear, respect, and curiosity among players, who reportedly now view Sirianni through a lens colored by both awe and apprehension. Insider reports indicate that the coach's passionate approach may have rattled veterans and rookies alike, forcing them to confront unspoken truths about their performance, preparation, and internal commitment. In locker rooms where tension is often masked by professionalism, the raw emotional display is said to have cracked the veneer of control, leaving both players and staff in a state of reflective uncertainty, wondering what comes next and how such a public display of frustration might alter the team's trajectory, culture, and identity. The story, while unfolding behind closed doors, has already become an unavoidable talking point, igniting discussions that go beyond football strategy to touch on leadership, accountability, and the human side of competitive sports in a way that few incidents ever do. While many are speculating about the specific triggers of the outburst, insiders suggest that a combination of poor game outcomes, lack of communication from key players, and mounting frustration over repeated errors on the field converged to create a perfect storm for the explosive incident. Nick Sirianni, described by those close to the team as usually composed and highly strategic, reportedly reached a breaking point where his usual measured approach gave way to a full emotional venting, aimed not at any single individual but at the collective awareness of the locker room. Eyewitnesses claim that the rant was both fierce and unfiltered, mixing sharp critique, pointed observations, and moments of raw vulnerability, which left players stunned, reflective, and perhaps even motivated in unexpected ways. The moment is said to have lasted several intense minutes, with Sirianni walking among the benches, gesturing dramatically, and emphasizing key points with a force that left no room for doubt about his frustration or urgency. Rumors circulating in the sports community suggest that the coach's words touched on both tactical failures and deeper issues of focus, discipline, and commitment. forcing a confrontation that many insiders believe was long overdue. Observers are already drawing parallels to other famous coaching meltdowns, noting that such moments often become turning points, either inspiring renewed dedication or highlighting fractures that can fester over time. For fans of the Eagles, the incident adds a dramatic human element to a season already filled with challenges, transforming the narrative from statistics and plays into a story about leadership under pressure, emotional honesty, and the sometimes volatile dynamics that exist behind the polished performances showcased on Sundays. The leaked accounts of Sirianni's meltdown are now feeding a whirlwind of commentary across platforms, with former players, analysts, and armchair critics weighing in on what this could mean for both the short-term performance and long-term culture of the Eagles. Discussions are rife with debate over whether such a public display of frustration is a sign of passionate leadership or a warning signal of instability, with insiders noting that the intensity of the outburst has left the locker room in a state of heightened awareness and subtle tension, according to those familiar with the events. Players reportedly responded in a mix of silence, nods of understanding, and subtle reactions that indicate a blend of shock and reflection, suggesting that the words hit hard, but may also have sparked an internal reckoning about accountability and shared responsibility. Observers are already predicting that locker room meetings, practice adjustments, and player-coach interactions in the coming days will carry the imprint of this confrontation, shaping decisions, relationships, and strategies in ways that are only beginning to emerge. The ripple effect of the incident, analysts say, may extend beyond immediate morale to influence play calling, communication dynamics, and the overall cohesion of a team attempting to navigate a season full of challenges. Sports psychologists and coaching experts consulted by insiders suggest that while such meltdowns carry risk, they also offer an opportunity for transformation, forcing both players and coaches to confront uncomfortable truths and realign priorities, potentially catalyzing a cultural reset if handled correctly. Meanwhile, fans and media outlets alike are treating the revelation with a mix of shock, fascination, and speculation, turning what was once an internal matter into a nationwide talking point that captures the drama, unpredictability, and human emotion that lie at the heart of professional football, proving that sometimes the story behind the game is as compelling as the game itself. Rumors indicate that some players may have taken the rant personally, while others reportedly viewed it as a wake-up call, creating a mix of reactions that only adds to the complexity of the situation. Sources hint that Sirianni's frustration was not aimed at undermining morale, but rather at breaking through complacency, a tactic that has historically had mixed results in professional sports environments. Coaches are often faced with the challenge of balancing discipline, motivation, and empathy, and insiders suggest that this moment reflects the tension between maintaining authority and connecting with a diverse group of athletes, each with their own expectations, personalities, and pressures. Eyewitness accounts claim that while some younger players seemed taken aback by the intensity, veterans may have recognized the pattern of stress, urgency, and demand for accountability, giving the moment a layered meaning that resonates differently across the team. Analysts argue that this type of incident can redefine leadership perception, prompting players to reassess their understanding of commitment, preparation, and the unspoken expectations that shape team culture. The broader sports community is now abuzz with speculation, trying to piece together the implications of the event, from potential shifts in game day performance to the impact on locker room trust, cohesion, and internal communication. Meanwhile, social media platforms continue to amplify every leaked detail, magnifying the intensity of the story and creating a virtual echo chamber where fans, commentators, and insiders debate the potential outcomes, turning the incident into a narrative that transcends the Eagles' organization and touches on universal themes of leadership, pressure, and the volatility of human emotion under extreme circumstances, making it one of the most talked about coaching moments of the season. The cultural and emotional fallout of the incident reportedly continues to evolve, with sources suggesting that both players and staff are still processing the intensity of Sirianni's words and the implications for their professional and personal dynamics within the team. Conversations in locker rooms, hallways, and during practice sessions are said to have shifted subtly, with players reportedly more reflective, cautious, and aware of the scrutiny both internal and external. Analysts suggest that while the outburst may initially seem destabilizing, it could ultimately serve as a catalyst for accountability, communication, and a renewed sense of urgency, particularly if followed by strategic and empathetic leadership moves. Insider accounts indicate that staff members are actively working to mediate the tension, provide support, and ensure that the team does not fracture under the weight of heightened emotions, which is a delicate balance in any high-pressure professional sports environment. Sports commentators are already speculating about potential ripple effects on team strategy, player utilization, and coaching decisions, noting that such moments often force recalibrations that can either enhance cohesion or expose weaknesses. Fans are watching closely, reading between lines of interviews, press conferences, and social media hints, attempting to decode whether the team is entering a period of reckoning, transformation, or continued struggle. The narrative unfolding around Nick Sirianni's locker room meltdown is thus not just a story of frustration but a lens into leadership under pressure, the human dimension of professional sports, and the way a single, emotionally charged moment can ripple through an entire organization, capturing the imagination of audiences far beyond the stadium. Keep watching as we analyze more details about some rumors. Speculation about the long-term consequences of Sirianni's emotional outburst is reaching fever pitch, with insiders suggesting that the incident could influence player morale, locker room dynamics, and coaching strategies in ways that are both subtle and profound. Observers note that the raw honesty of the coach's frustration may force players to confront uncomfortable realities about their preparation, communication, and commitment, creating opportunities for growth and realignment within the team. Some sources claim that the tirade has sparked private conversations among veterans, rookies, and assistant coaches, who are reportedly reevaluating their roles, responsibilities, and personal standards. An internal dialogue that insiders believe is critical for preventing the incident from becoming a divisive force. Analysts point out that while emotional eruptions are often viewed negatively, they can also serve as a catalyst for cultural recalibration, emphasizing accountability, urgency, and transparency, which are crucial elements for any team aspiring to achieve high-level success. Fans and commentators have already begun theorizing about the impact on game performance, predicting potential changes in leadership approach, practice intensity, and even lineup decisions. As players react to both the fear and inspiration generated by the episode, sources hint that Sirianni himself is reportedly aware of the delicate balance required to translate raw emotion into productive motivation, suggesting that follow-up actions in meetings, practice sessions, and media interactions will be carefully calculated to reinforce unity, accountability, and resilience. Rumors continue to swirl about the players' reactions, with some reportedly embracing the challenge while others are said to be processing the emotional intensity differently, adding layers of complexity to team dynamics, cohesion, and the unwritten code of conduct that governs interactions, loyalty, and respect within professional football environments. Whispers from insiders reveal that the fallout from the locker room eruption may extend beyond immediate team concerns to impact broader organizational decisions, as front office executives, scouts, and team management reportedly monitor the situation closely to assess both the emotional climate and leadership effectiveness. Analysts argue that such incidents offer rare visibility into the pressures, expectations, and human dynamics behind the polished performances seen on game day, highlighting the tension between emotional authenticity and professional composure. Observers suggest that players may now be more attuned to their coach's signals, body language, and communication style, potentially leading to subtle shifts in behavior, practice habits, and strategic engagement. Meanwhile, sports media outlets continue to speculate about the ripple effects, offering commentary ranging from critical evaluations of leadership methods to admiration for the courage to confront internal challenges openly. A tension that mirrors the unpredictability of the sport itself. Fans, armed with leaked details, social media clips, and insider analysis, are dissecting every nuance, building narratives that blend drama, speculation, and expectation, turning the episode into a cultural touchpoint that resonates far beyond Philadelphia. The intensity of discussion around Sirianni's meltdown demonstrates the magnetic appeal of emotionally charged leadership moments, which captivate audiences, provoke debate, and challenge assumptions about what is required to motivate professional athletes at the highest level. As the story develops, sources hint that the team may be entering a transformative period, one in which the boundaries between frustration, inspiration, and accountability blur, creating both opportunity and risk for leadership, cohesion, and performance across all facets of the organization. Making this more than just a fleeting incident, it's a defining moment that could shape the trajectory of the Eagles' season and organizational culture for years to come. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like this video and share it with your fellow NFL fans. Stay tuned for more updates. Only here on NFL News Now.